Hello everybody and welcome back to Speed Force Racing. My name is JB and I'll be taking you through tonight's proceedings, but I'm not on my own. As always, I'm joined by the most fearsome of all predatory animals. It is Primeval Rex. Alex, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. I would never call me the most fearsome of predatory animals. If you knew me in real life, I'm sort of the opposite. I have got the standings for you, JB, and we'll talk about that first before we get into our usual comedy spiel. So Sven in the Ferrari is dominant on top with 179 points. Behind him, that's Stam. He's got 163 points. Then we follow the other Ferrari, that being Trademan, then Friedrich, then Gamey, Vasily, Billy, Special Energy, Lee, Storm, Topic, Fefster, Madri, Psychobit, GA, Ash, Chris Can, Yergamil, DJ Clarkson, and Hagen. Now we've got to go through the constructors' standings. Interestingly, it's looking like one-way traffic. Ferrari on top with 254 points. Their closest rivals, Alfa Romeo on 163. Then Williams, Racing Point, Red Bull, Toro Rosso, Renault, Mercedes, Haas, and McLaren. Mate, you've got to say, this is kind of make or break for Alfa Romeo tonight, isn't it?
It truly is, and luckily they have both drivers returning to the pack tonight. Last week they only had one driver on track. I believe that was just Billy, who I believe was handed a reprimand for his incident in the pit lane, where he crossed over the curbs under the safety car and decided that he'd shortened the pit lane, which was very naughty, and I even told him off about it.
Naughty. Well, we are not here in Suzuka, like I said last week. We were actually in Sochi at the Sochi Autodrome, and well, there's not going to be Olympics here today, but there's going to be some quality racing. And JB, I cannot wait for this one. Really though, the championship, because of one Williams, has really lightened up, really heated up towards the end of this. Stam's come to life, hasn't he, in the most recent races?
It most definitely has. Matt G obviously has been learning a lot from his teammate. I was chatting to him last night on the Gp4 commentary, and we had a very interesting race on the Gp4 commentary last night. It was for the first 5 laps, it seemed to be more go-kart racing than Formula 1, and then it was quite spaced out, so hopefully we get closer racing here tonight in GP3.
We got some big F1 news today. That Alexander Albon will be staying at Red Bull for 2020. Yeah. I think that's the right move. JP, please say you agree.
I do, mainly because he's Thai British and I'm racist.
But honestly, it's the right move, isn't it?
I think the question is, hopefully, with time, he can produce better performances than Gasly, because right now he's sort of equaling the performances, but he's outscored.
Well, I disagree. I'd say he's done better than Gasly.
He's done better in the finishing positions. He's finished in the same place as Gasly has, but racing-wise, he's done so much better because Gasly wouldn't.
Because he started in the pit lane, he had that damage, which was not his fault in Austin. And he came back. I mean, really, he would have beat Leclerc in Austin because Ferrari's pace was nowhere.
Ferrari. I don't know what happened to Ferrari in Austin, but yeah, it's
Mattia Binotto.
It was his birthday. Give him a break. So Lee's saying that we're going to start a little bit early tonight. Actually, go onto track. So the drivers just can't wait. So we're going to all ready up early.
You've got a full 20 driver grid.
I know. So, just get them in before we all lag out.
I'm getting excited for the championship. It's a Tuesday night highlight. I was getting a bit. I'll be honest. I was getting a bit wary when it looked like Sven was just dominant. But you have to admit, Stam. Not only is he performing well, but he's also, as you said before, bringing Mad G up. I think the Ferraris might need to watch out for Mad G in this race. I've got a good feeling that he might be involved.
Most definitely. We have Chris Can, who actually raced last night, finished third on the overall standings in GP4 as a reserve driver. So he's got some pace on this track.
And I think that that race from yesterday will really help him. Got some really good guys in GP4, and I think it's it's not too different to GP3 here. What's the conditions going to be like, Jamie? Though you got to think wet weather, it will favour the Ferraris. Really,
it was wet in qualifying yesterday.
Stam exceeds in the dry conditions. Wet tyres are kind of balances it out. We've got the return of Luke back, so he stopped watching Doras on Tuesday night, and he decided to turn up to Sochi. Well, this is going to be an interesting one. Where will Luke Beck fare? I don't know how much racing he's done, but when he was here, he was definitely a podium contender, so could he throw a spanner in the works tonight?
Most definitely, we'll see what happens as we head over to qualifying here
This is
in
a very
Sochi.
good set of drivers, isn't it?
It is. I think this is the most well-rounded group that SFR's got at this moment. Barring the top three, who tend to just disappear out of it, the mid-pack is absolutely mental. This sort of
It's like
simulates
real life
F1 a
F1,
little
isn't
bit
it?
more, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can never predict who's going to win, and I like that. I mean, obviously, Sven's obviously the one you gravitate towards, but at the minute, he's been making silly mistakes. But then again, though, so did Sven in Singapore. We need to talk about that.
We do, and obviously off the back of last week, Dr. Special Energy's first win in racing in general.
Was incredible.
Absolutely incredible. And he finished fifth on the road. So,
what a tear to my eye.
Last night, penalties were a big thing in the race. So keep an eye on the penalties, because these will be handed out quite heavily. Right now, we're waiting on gamey things to ready up.
I don't think it's ready up. I think it's his internet to work.
Yeah, it might be that gaming things has to leave. We are getting questions now whether we're gonna, because has been a few minutes. I will message Lee.
We need to also talk about the controversy last week. Sven crashing out. It looked really good for Stam, but then he crashed himself and only was able to pick up 7 points. Not the Grand Prix Stam would have wanted. If he got those 25 points, he would be leading the Squad Championship.
Well, it wasn't controversy. It was just that heartbreak, the fact that he crashed.
I know, I think it was a bit controversial, because why were so many of these drivers making mistakes? I know Singapore's a difficult track.
Well, what's controversial about it? Were they running different setups? Did they just lose it? The track's difficult. I think it's just lack of concentration. That track's incredibly difficult.
Controversy might be the wrong word.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting, let's say, because you got to think Sven was in mouth there, because he's been leading this from round 1, hasn't he? Or at least round 4 onwards.
So apparently the race director Lee Nell has got in touch with Gamey saying that maybe he has to leave. We have one reserver in it. I can't say his name, so we'll call him Mans.
Maurice Manzo.
Maurice, there we go. We'll call him Maurice. Thank you. See, I can't just read things out. I had to just say it right. I can't say one of the gangs in the roleplay that I'm part of until someone says it for me, then I can emulate it.
The Whisperers.
No, it's just a name that doesn't work with my mouth.
But no, one thing I want to talk about that isn't F1 related. How good is the new Sonic trailer? It is good.
yeah, it does look better, though I still don't like Jim Carrey. I'm just bored of him.
I think he's good in this trailer. I think.
I think Robin Williams would be a better pick for Robotnik if he'd still been alive. God bless him.
Yes, but rest in peace, Robin Williams.
God, can you believe that was 2013 when that happened?
I remember going to see Night at the Museum, Secret of the Tomb.
I remember probably crying over Robin Williams' death. Anyway, off that subject, we're just waiting now.
Welcome to SFR.
The morning podcast. Yeah, this is where we mention death and a whole lot, and I sit here and contemplate buying
tomahawks. I don't know
tomahawks.
what's going to go on here. I don't know if Gamey has actually left the session.
No, he hasn't left the session because it would have caused it. So I think this is quite curious. I'm going to check now. We have all of our little checks. So we're waiting. Game is complaining, saying that he doesn't want to miss qualifying, so he's going to have to leave, or I'm going to start just spewing rubbish out.
Okay, I think at this point, Gamey, you've got to miss quali and start from the back. Pit lane start. I mean, you should not technically a pit lane start. I think that's a good addition to the game, though, if they ever bring him in. A good old pit lane.
It's alright, I've just got involved now in the chat. I don't normally do that. But
you've turned your notifications off, right? Because
yeah, I don't get it up on the PlayStation.
Okay, go for that.
Otherwise,
people's screen would be all over the gaff.
It really would be. So
I don't know why it's like gaff. I'm not northern.
What's all up with gaff it is. But yeah, it's
gaffer tape.
It's.
Sort of leave it in the chat.
Yeah, he's not happy.
Of course he's not. Absolutely not.
So now we wait and see as we do actually head now to the trackside. So Lee's left the session as well. So looks like we're making a new session. Thanks to the inability of one driver, the selfishness of one driver not to leave.
At that point, I would have just started.
we're going to have to delay the start.
We apologies here. We were going to go early, and turns out that to not be the case today.
Well, clearly, one person's qualifying is worth doing a full restart. Fabulous. So we will wait now, and we will wait until the new session is back up. Because, I'm not impressed. Not impressed there at all. But, what can we do? So, as we're going to be not impressed, I'm going to pick a classic car to look at while we wait for the invites. What shall we look at? I'm in the mood to look at
Let me pick.
Oh, go on,
Let
then.
me pick.
You pick.
Let me pick. Hang on, I'll pick. I'll go through. I think undoubtedly you got to look at the best car of all time, which is the 2009 Brawn.
Well, that's the best car for me. That's the car that I loved. But if we're talking about the best F1 car of an era, there's the 04 Ferrari. That was brilliant. But if you look further back to the most dominant car in Formula One, which is the McLaren MP4-4, which won 10 out of 11 races that season. The one race they missed, right, was Italy. The day after, or the week after, Enzo Ferrari died.
I mean, if you want to talk about dominance as well.
Okay, we're heading back to session now.
Sorry about this, guys. This is not originally what we wanted.
Well, we will see what happens if we now rejoin the session.
So that's a game you said that it's restarted. I hope that to be the case. As we've got 12 drivers in now. Hopefully we can get more in. We had 20 before.
Well, I believe we'll get all of them back in, out of respect for the fact of all this. But nonetheless, though, seeing as we're talking about this sort of stuff, what is your stance on the Formula One helmet rule?
Helmet rule?
Do you not know it?
I do not.
In the FIA's rulebook, because after 2013, drivers were swapping, particularly Sebastian Vettel, were swapping their helmets every race. I'm not kidding, every race they were swapping it. Much like Valentino Rossi does in MotoGP.
Yeah.
So the FIA thought, I'm bored of this now. We put down a rule saying that drivers are only allowed one major change in a season, and then they can just change the main design as much as they like. That's how Vettel gets around it, and Lando gets around it.
I think that's wrong.
Of course it's wrong. It's absolutely rubbish. With the halo, you can't even see the bloody helmet, so
I think you saw them.
I don't care. With the helmet, you can't. With the halo, you can't see the helmet. What is the point? In that rule.
And Gaby's left again, so I don't know what that says about his Wi-Fi this evening.
Well, we will see what happens. Take a check on the chat once more.
We're readying up, so I guess maybe we might have to miss. Gaby's back in.
If it doesn't work this time round, then I'll have a chat with the race director.
Mr. Gabe? No, that's not Mr. Gabe. But whether we change tracks and go to the best circuit on the calendar, being Australia.
It really isn't.
It's not, but I won my first race there.
Yeah, completely agree. People should be able to switch their helmets as many times as they like in a season.
As long as they don't do it every race, I think that's the overkill.
Well, Lando does it every race, or every other race, just the design of it. But he doesn't change the core design. He just changes like the finish or adds extra bits. Like particularly his Japan one, that was actually a hand painted helmet. So they hand painted 3 helmets for him that race. That was beautiful. Then you saw his Texas helmet, where it was all like metallic and had stuff on it.
We're only waiting for one more seat now in F1, aren't we? Right, here we go.
Everyone knows who it's going to be. So straight over to qualifying.
Robert,
no Red Bull drivers being salvaged this time.
It's grey and it's like a morning in Slough.
It's like my mood about 5 minutes. It was like the first qualifying session was my mood. Now it's this mood.
Right, I wonder who's going to be the first one out here. I think Mad G, normally he comes out quite early in the proceedings. He could do with a clean lap here. Like just a fresh lap.
Lando does help with the design of his helmets, yeah. But I think he commissions some of them.
Lando is my spirit animal, and I will love him for the rest of the time.
Meme Lord Norris, yeah. I don't think he's going to win the Rookie of the Year though. He might do on votes, but I think Colton Herder will get the win from IndyCar. So we see releasing 3 cars
I have no
releasing.
idea what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's a Rookie of the Year award by Autosport. Like we're talking Rookie of all year, and the cars all streaming out on track. Autosport, it's a magazine.
Okay, I don't read it.
But
and I was right in my prediction. Maggi is out first. I knew it. He likes to get out first here, and maybe there's no rush for rain because Maggi's put on the hard compound tyres.
No, but to be honest, I think they're all a little bit annoyed by the delayed start, and I think we might have some complaints after that. And we've got no engine noise as well. That's the worst thing. So we're driving without engine noise. Oh,
it fixes itself, doesn't it?
It will fix itself at the end of the session, yeah.
I think the drivers either. That's a strange thing that we've both not got it.
The drivers that have all come out are clearly the drivers that are thinking, right, let's go out and actually get some laps in before something else happens in the session. Before one driver decides that he can hold up the entire grid because he can't be bothered.
I just hope his internet isn't so bad that it ruins the racing.
No, if it does, I will call him a set of words, which I don't normally release on stream. They're hiding in a little box over here.
Well, we've seen movement in the Ferrari garage. Sven is out in front of Trainman, and Stam is out before both. Stam is out behind both of them.
I haven't seen Hulk. Oh, that one. Yeah, that's pretty. That's pretty, Dan. Sorry, he's talking about a helmet design of the year, and Hulkenberg's back at China for the 1000th Grand Prix was absolutely beautiful. Just the design of like retro Renault was beautiful.
I like Ricardo.
I though personally love George Russell's from America. I don't know why, but I do. Maggi getting out of the way of the. I think that's Billy. Billy is now going to be the first man to set a lap on the hard compound in the Alfa Romeo.
Is Maggi changing his mind? No. Okay, I thought.
No, he wants to follow people, I think.
He's not setting himself up great for the lap by here, but
I think the McLaren of Chris Can has really screwed himself setting up a lap time. Because he's pretty close to Billy, and we know how powerful the slipstream is here. It's like being back on the 2011 game, if you remember that.
We saw it in the race, didn't we?
Yeah.
In the IRL race with the Ferrari's weird strategy. That's what I'll call it, for sure. And a heartbreak for Sebastian Vettel, who was never in the wrong, and if anyone says he's wrong, you're wrong.
No, he wasn't in the wrong, but it's Ferrari's silly tactics of,
he does. It's not the law that he has to follow that, you know.
But Ferrari's silly tactics to say that the driver in second place on the lockout should lead into
Charles Leclerc should have been able to defend the start. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, that wasn't. But nothing happened with Sebastian or that.
He wasn't Seb's fault that he was faster than Charles.
No, it's just how racing is. That's why teams should not orchestrate so much stuff. It's why I get annoyed with Toyota and WEC.
I understand it in like the midfield, but when you're fighting for a race lead, like, come on.
Well, it's ridiculous. It's Ferrari, though. So anyway, looking at Billy coming into the final sector here.
Everyone's on the lap right now, except GA and Manzo's on the outlap. So everyone's setting a timing quickly. It was Billy though, wasn't it, who set his goals at the first time here?
Billy is the first one with Chris Can right behind him, or at least those last time we saw. Invalidations are high round here at Sochi. Oh, and that was close to the wall for the Alfa Romeo. He's ran out of power as well.
Out of ERS here.
No electrical energy to the 30 car.
No, yep. But he's going to come across the line and it's at the bank of time as long as it wasn't invalidated. It's not 1:34.9.
Can Chris go faster? Is not faster at all. There's the Williams of Maggi. Linnell, though, fastest right now on the medians. Friedrich and Langfeld beating that out, though. And Mike Bard's in the Red Bull coming to play as well.
I've never heard of this Mike Bards before.
You've heard of Mike Bards. He did Spa.
Oh, yes.
Because you always think I'm saying my bars. Like I'm a rapper.
No, all Sven on the exit. He invalidated. I knew he did. But now we've got to look at Stam. How's Stam doing in the Williams? Stam goes pole! That's incredible there. Mike Bard's got time. Look, Trainman
looking at Trainman now, what can the Ferrari do? Beautiful red helmet design. As he comes across the line, it's P1 by 0.2. Look at that. Where is Luke Beck? Coming around the final corner. That's P8. And last week's race winner, the 72 car of Doc Special Energy, about to cross the line now. It's P10.
Right now, Maggi pushing in for a second lap here. I think this time's got to be faster. There's no way it's not.
Billy is not making it easy for him to get through at all, is he?
No, not at all, though. I don't know what that swerving was, really. But, yeah, I mean, that's the thing of the hard compound tyres. Surely, Maggi. I think Maggi could have maybe.
Oh, Chris Can out in Sector 2.
I don't know. Will they pull a different strategy at Williams and say, Maggi,
He did.
you do the
Into pit lane.
medium
Oh, God, I
size?
went through puberty there.
Or will he go on the softs eventually?
Jurgemel in some serious trouble with Langfell there. Langfell going way off the track to get out of the way.
We've had we keep doing the
Into
same
pit
thing.
lane.
Jurgenmel's in the pits. You struggled, hasn't he, since returning to SFR?
He has. Gave me things. Man who shut down the first lobby. I'm never going to let him live that down, to be honest. I'm still quite round up about it, to be honest. Why are people qualifying in the hards? Because they're trying to. Some people haven't done much practice, so they're just going in for it and using this as a session. Whoa! Gaming things going very close to the wall there as the Red Bull opens its DRS. We've seen a big crash here from Alex Albon this year, and also we saw a crash here.
I think about to say me. I was like, what? I crashed on Sochi.
You didn't make it to Sochi.
I just hear the word Alex and I get triggered. But
gaming things now paired in the pit lane, make it obviously. God, why are people must be struggling on lap time.
Right.
Pit lane here though, very difficult for turning. P5, just remind me of his name.
Manzo, Marie Manzo.
Okay, thank you. Again, need a little help with that.
He was in Italy, and I had to do it all by myself. So
was he? Well, I apologise for being in the hospital.
Oh, I thought I put you in there. So.
Linel, 1.1 seconds up on his lap time as he fights the Toro Rosso, the Honda power unit, giving him all the power he can as he comes through here. He'll be yelling on the radio going, listen, give me everything. I need to be able to boost this up. PA is not where I should be on these tyres.
Are we at full power? That's what we're saying.
No, he'll be tailing them. He's old enough now not to ask. He just says, give it to me, and they will. He's got no power now. Crossing the line now. It's P6, back up there, really where he should be in this qualifying session. GA on a lap time.
Top 6 second of each other. Top 6 of the second of each other right now. This entire gap. There's a second gap though between the other two. There's Psyche, which is almost 2 seconds back. Sven will be up there, that's for sure. I expect Hagen to do a good job as well. It's going to be a difficult one though. Here, what can Hagen do?
He's on that lap. We've got a car actually on a lap time though. We do have a car on a lap time.
Hagen's had a good season. I'm just talking about Hagen for a second, my friend.
Well, we've got GA on a lap time. We should talk about GA. Talk about Gordon. I'm still trying to
talk about Hagen.
You talk about Hagen when he's on a lap. When he's on stream.
I'm talking
about GA.
He's on a lap. I'm talking about Hagen because I don't care. I'm talking about Hagen, and I'm trying to say that. I'm co-commentator now. But
you won't give it the same pay.
Hagen has he's had a good season, but he's had moments, isn't he, where he's been as good as his teammate Friedrich. It's the consistency where he struggles, isn't it?
He has some bad luck, but more importantly, GA is coming into the final sector now. Yeah. I'm going to do that. GA in the McLaren Renault. So before we go and look at the Renault driver, what can GA get up to? He's had a pretty okay lap on the mediums. He should be aiming really for a P10. If he can get that, it's going to be really close. I think it's just going to be a P12, which is just out of range. Here's Hagen.
Hagen.
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, Hagen will want to get in the top 10.
He needs to realistically be about 7th to match the tyres. He did 3 laps and he was in 6th. So.
I would agree. He probably wants to be a couple of tenths behind Lee now to be comfortable at least.
Especially on the soft tyres. This is not really the best qualifying strategy. Normally it's to go out on the mediums, then use the softs at the end within the last 5 minutes of qualifying.
Oh, I mean, it's been a solid lap from Hagen. Interestingly, Sven as well is going to get some slip.
He's got no power. No power in the Renault, but it is P7. Exactly where we say you go.
He probably would have wanted a couple more tenths there, I think, because he's 1.6 seconds behind the leading car. He's got 3 seconds buffer, though. 3 seconds, 3 tenths buffer, which is quite a bit in an F1 car, so I suppose he won't be too annoyed. As here comes Sven. What's your leader? Do you want to take us to a lap, JB?
Friedrich's actually on a lap time. I just want to point out that he's still wearing his Halloween costume. But Fu turns 2 and 3 now into the longest corner in Formula 1 for Sven. This ever tightening corner. It goes on forever. Look at how long it is. Where is it going to be? There's the braking zone here into the. I think this is turn 6, where Valtteri Bottas and Kimi Räikkönen came together. Now further down into the tight and twisty bit. 90-degree corners the whole way round. Trying to get it all. Okay, coming to where George Russell's brakes locked and failed in the 2019 season. And look at this, he's riding the curves like a beautiful dancer. They're coming towards the DRS straight, hoping that the car's okay. He went a little bit tight there. I would have gone a little bit wider and hit the curves. Now aiming to hit the apex, running over the orange curve now. He's invalidated it by the looks of it. He's on 0 ERS. He's on an outlap, that's why.
Who is?
Sven.
He wasn't, he's already crossed the line.
He's on an outlap though.
But he's already crossed the line.
But it says he's on an outlap.
He was following the Hagen.
Well,
That's
we'll
how I
see.
knew he was on.
Because it does say he's on an outlap, unless the game's put him on 2 outlaps, which is odd. He's pulling out.
He's pulling into the pits.
Putting out the way now as we look at Hunter now coming through towards the ever-tightening turn 3.
He definitely wasn't on an outlap.
Well,
because when he was following Hagen.
Well, so I'm telling you that it says he's on an outlap. What can I do? I'm looking at the time screen now.
1 lap on tyres. He's
so
on 1 lap on tyres.
Oh, what happens if he invalidated his... okay. He may have invalidated both lap, like this and next lap on his first run out of the pits.
Well,
so it might have counted,
Maggi went 9th there. Maggi went 9th. That was been demoted to 10th as Luke Beck crosses the line and goes 7th fastest.
Friedrich currently P3, looking very comfortable up there. Sector 1 yellow flags are waving. Sector 2 and 3 yellow flags are waving. So flags everywhere, 2 and 3 more. Is that a crash?
Stan's across the line. Can he improve?
Yes,
he can.
We're looking at Hunter.
Treyman's improved by another 10th here, but Treyman's coming in, he invalidated. That's giving
Hunter's
Stam
invalidated as well. Lots of people struggling in this time round.
Right, Stam's got provisional pole going into the next set of the laps.
It really is around the time now where you need to get in, get the new set of tyres on.
At least to start a new lap.
Well, he's slightly off sequence. That's what I'm looking for. He's slightly off sequence due to being out a little bit longer, doing 3 laps on his softs. Now on the next set of softs, he will not have a fresh set of softs after this. Coming through the ever-tightening turn 4, though. What can he do? Oh, God, that car's skating very heavily as he touches the curb into Bottas and Raikkonen corner, which obviously ultimately gave Perez a podium.
Yeah, that's his fastest first sector, though. He's just over a 10th up.
He's not out of the woods yet today. He can do well.
Yeah.
The strategy last night was soft to medium, but we saw that it was because they had a wet qualifying session, they have fresh tyres. So maybe it will not be soft to medium, maybe it'll be soft to hard today. Look how wide Lee went there. That's the line that I preferred to take if I was Sven. Now coming onto the second DRS straight, fighting for Toro Rosso is
He's
Lee.
He's wrestling that car, isn't he?
Yeah, it doesn't want to be called Toro Rosso anymore, it wants to be called AlphaTauri now. But as we look at that, it's such a stupid name. Braking hard now
Lee's
under the bridge.
Down, so he's currently equal with his lap time. He's a 10th down.
He's got to control the power out of here. That car doesn't like it. They're passing the Alfa Romeo. I think that was of someone. I think it was Clarkson coming.
I don't think he'll be too impressed with this lap. I don't think he'll be too impressed with this lap, mate.
He's pitting.
He's boxing. Box.
Sven has gone at P3. Finally, getting a lap time on the board for the Swedish driver.
Stam's going to be a little bit confident now, surely.
Dog Special Energy. He's now on a slow lap. Oh, he's cut corners. He's taken out Bollard. Naughty. You'll get caught last week, Trina. Where is Psychomet? Into pit lane. So drivers all gearing up now for the final stages.
Mercedes are already out. They've got a different strategy. They've gone, we're gonna get our outlaps done now. No, they're not, because Manzo's coming on his outlap. I don't know if he's done the same thing. Suspended, or the game's just broken. Probably both.
Looking at Jurgen. What's Jurgen to do? He looks to be preparing for a lap time. He is. Powering up now.
It's one and only lap time.
No, he'll get another one.
No.
He will have to do double back one, so he'll have to go with low ERS, but he will get in 2 laps in. It is a dry race here in Sochi. Hopefully it's sunnier as well. So as we look at the Mercedes come down the long run, this is a horrendous run because we saw a massive pile-up here back in Season 2, all caused by Humberg, who lost the rear end and took everyone out. And we all ended up having... There was no restart called, and there should have been, because literally half the grid was there.
He's invalidated already. He's invalidated.
So pulling out of a lap time. As now
not his time at the minute, is it? He's not on the best of...
This track is very sensitive, and Sven finally pits. Apparently he's lost a lap on those tyres, because he had 3 laps on.
Maggi's out as well. We've got some drivers out now. Langfeld, GA, Maggi. No one else has really made that much activity yet, so he's given themselves a bit of space. But Maggi's, importantly, allowed himself to get a bit of slipstream, which could be crucial. Couple tenths there. Every 10th counts, though, doesn't it, in qualifying? That's the main thing.
It does. The issue with this track, though, it's all 90-degree corners, so they're incredibly tight. And, we've seen what 90-degree corners happen at Baku. If we look back at Raikkonen and Esteban Ocon back in 2018, that incident was completely out of
Movement in the
Esteban's fault.
Ferrari garage. One of them's out. That's Trainman. So Trainman is on the way out. Stam not yet moving.
See, John was saying that he was taken out by his own teammate. What? When? When were you taking it by your own teammate? You're not racing. I don't even know what incident he's talking about. He's talking about... Oh, okay, I know. Okay, sorry. T. John is talking about the Season 2 crash here in... back at, actually, I'd urge you to go back and watch that. The first, 5 minutes of the stream, the crash, were actually quite decent. Because then I think the top 3 then went on to do a no-stop strategy and actually won the race.
Right, mate, your order for the top 3, which is our regular top 3, Trainman will be the first to complete his lap, then Stam, and then just behind him is Sven. But good enough for him that he's got a car in between them. So,
well, look at Lang. Luckily for him on his lap, he managed to race the cars coming out of pit lane into turn 2, sorry, and they didn't have any problems. They filtered in behind him knowing that they weren't going to get involved.
None of them, I don't think any of them are in trouble, mate, because G's going down, it's clear as day.
Well, no, they came out, because Lang's already on his lap, Maggi's the next driver on his lap, and Friedrich and Stam came out of pit lane, and they were luckily going at enough speed that they weren't going to impact on Lang's lap. They didn't have to lift off or anything. So
where can Lang go? How much does he want to improve by? I'm going to look at the race director a second.
Lang is looking to end up... he needs to be at least 10th. He needs to at least match his teammate.
He's improved by 3/10 in the first sector.
So now we see it's going to be close. 1.9 seconds up of 1.7, sorry. Seconds up on his last time. That's going to be really close. I think it's going to be at least 8th. As we look at the driver getting closer and closer towards the top 10. Currently P14 is the Haas. And 30 seconds left of the session as he powers down towards the final 2 90-degree corners. Where's 1? He's got a little bit of toe from the Toros in front. There's 2. It's been a powerful lap time. It's P4.
That's brilliant. I didn't expect that. No offence to the guy, but I don't think you were expecting that, were you either?
Whoa! Almost a crash between Trainman and Jürgen Bell, who was hugging the inside wall of a blind corner. Incredibly stupid to sit off track like that from Jürgen.
That's okay, and then Mad G.
Well, no, it's not
Mad
okay.
G goes 8th fastest.
It's not okay at all. You don't.
I didn't say it was okay. I just said okay as a general sense.
What you shouldn't do. How many times do I have to mention this? When on a lap time, when you're not on a lap time, but you're on the racetrack, don't just go off track at all. Don't go outside of the white lines. Just stay off the racing line and wait for a car to come behind you, then move over.
Jamie goes 6th fastest.
Unlike those guys who decided to go straight off track. Mike Bars did it right. That's how you do it. I cannot believe that people don't actually pay attention to this. Wesley.
Manzo
going straight up to P1 in the Mercedes, looking strong as well. That's only a 10th, though, from Stam. Stam is bailed out of his lap time by the looks of it.
Yeah.
Trainman is into pit lane. That's qualifying over for Trainman. He will not be on pole position. Sven is on a lap time, though.
This is good. So this means that Sven and Stam will be on the same.
Oh, it's wide. It's close.
Well,
I don't think Stam's going to lap it in. I think Stam's over. I think currently it's pole position for Manzo to lose or Sven to gain. Coming through the final corners now from Sven.
But he's made this perfect. On the run to the line.
It's going to be stupidly quick, but it's not. It's going to be Manzo so far on pole. Yeah, we're out. It's not going to be a championship contender on pole position tonight. Hunter is coming out of pit lane now. Or sorry, Hunter was coming into pit lane. Where's GA? He's bailed out too. Friedrich's out too. This has been the weirdest qualifying session ever. Well, because that's it.
GA set his lap time before the checkered flag.
That's it. Haggard's made a mistake. That's qualifying over for now. And whoa! What's that for? Because Manzo's finished his lap. That's not fair. That is not fair at all.
Oh, that's unfair on the McLaren Renault.
That's completely and utterly unfair. And this game is just ridiculous.
I want to bring it to your attention. Look at the Alfa Romeos. 17th and 18th, not what they wanted to be.
That is that is the most bollocks penalty I've ever seen in racing from Codemasters. What an absolute joke.
But mate, what do you think about the Alphas? That's a huge thing.
Alpha have got a lot to do today. It seems that they couldn't do anything with the tyres, but yes. So, for the first time ever, Mando, the Italian driver, is going to be on pole position, though his car's wrecked.
I wonder, will they have to do a pit lane start?
No, they'll put him in the C car.
But, mate, this is going to be incredible.
This is, well, the engine notes are back, though, as we go to start the race. I cannot help but wondering how Codemasters are still allowed to make such a stupid penalty exist in the game.
They should allow something like actually real players that can be stewards.
So, by 32 thousandths of a second, Manzo is on pole position ahead of Stam in P2. Trainman heading the Ferrari charge in P3 ahead of Sven in P4. Langfell in P5 ahead of Friedrich in P6. Getting things in P7 ahead of Mike Bards in P8. Lee is in P9 and Hunter is in P10. Maggi is in P11. Luke Beck is in P12. GA is qualified 13th, going to start in 18th. Psychomich is in P14. Hagen P15. Dr. Special Energy in P16. DJ Clarkson in P17. Billy in P18. Chris in P19. Jurgen in P20, I believe that was. Let me check.
I'm so excited for this Grand Prix. So excited. Dry conditions, mate. It's bright.
It is.
All things bright and beautiful.
Oh, don't sing that crap. That religious crap on my stream.
Did you know it was religious?
Yeah.
It's a song.
It's about God.
Nothing wrong with religion, mate.
No, if you're religious, it's your choice, but, I don't care.
Do you celebrate Christmas?
No, I do not.
What about Halloween?
Halloween is pagan. It's different.
Easter? What about Easter?
No.
You don't eat chocolate eggs?
No, what's the point in getting fat?
It's fun.
It's not. It's not fun. I can tell you now, weight is not fun. If you're overweight, then it's not fun. Not hating on people who are overweight. It's just, it can be bad for your system. I spent most of the time...
JB hates you.
No, I hate you. That's what I do.
If you're
Manzo
overweight,
not launching on his. No, don't put words in my mouth, Alex. Manzo not launching off the line very well as Sam immediately goes for a race start. I mean, really, bit silly, but we probably should mention why Mike Barnes is here. Ash has got to qualify. Has got a race ban for crashing himself out. Though he said he wasn't crashing himself out, he wouldn't give footage forward saying that he didn't. And from what we heard from other drivers, they said that he did.
Well, just to let you know as well, 3 medium compounds, Psychowich, Hagen, Special Energy, and also Chris and Jurgen at the back are also mediums. Everyone else on softs.
Very interesting. If you look at anyone out of the top 10 on softs, they're most probably on fresh softs, so they're going to be looking for a fast one. But the top 10 softs, they're going to be looking a little bit used soon. So
we didn't mention this, but Ferrari have pitched out the second row. They were pretty happy with that, weren't they, JB? At least in the context of the constructors.
They will be. Depends if they employ the stupid tactics of, okay, well, hopefully they race. That's all I ask for. They're not going to wreck each other, we know that.
Because in the real life race, it was first and third, wasn't it?
No, it was first and second. They locked it out. That's where the stupid rule comes from. The rule is, Ferrari's tactic is, if you are, bloody hell, Trainman needs to catch up with the pack, because there cannot be a 5-second gap. But... Or the top two need to slow down. But no, the rule, Ferrari's stupid rule, they've had this for absolutely years, is if they're on the front row, the car in the second position will lead into turn 1. It's the stupidest rule that Ferrari's ever brought into F1.
It's a massive gap.
It is. 4 seconds is. At least I think that's down to Stam Racing, and then warming up his car like that, and Manzo just taking his own time. But it's okay. I think it's within 10 car lengths, so it's okay.
Oh, Bards has spun it on the formation lap.
It's okay. His tyres will be nice and warm now. He'll be able to regain his position as he moves out of the way. If in real life, if he dropped now to P20, as he will not do due to Jurgen not overtaking him, he would actually have to start at the back. No, he would. He would actually have to start at the back in real life. if he dropped down to P20. That's how the rule goes. So yeah. Nonetheless, though, as we go towards lights out, who are you going to be watching at the start, Alex?
I'm be sticking at the front with you. I think that's the battle at hand. I'll be honest.
So we see now Mike Bard's pulling into position. Thank you to the game for not making him start at the back how it should be. But, you know, let's see what happens as we see Manzo taking his first pole position of SFR in the Mercedes. SFR have not really seen Mercedes dominance in a while now. But Season 2 was the last Mercedes dominance, and now we head to 5. Red lights here in Sochi. The lights are on and the lights are out. Now it's a good start. Oh, it's a terrible start for Stam. He did not move at all from P2. The Ferrari's already through. He's dropping back. He's clipped onto Friedrich there, but it's okay. Friedrich's through. They're all not going to have a massive collision like they did last night. And you see Manzo defending as best he can. The Ferrari's attacking as they try and come through turn 1. All okay? Is everyone okay? There's people being pushed wide. There's damage on Stam's car.
Yeah, I thought it was Stam, yeah.
It's Trainman leading though. Manzo's in trouble. DJ Clarkson's dropped way back now as Manzo tries to get back past the Ferrari.
Who's that?
Oh, big collision! It's the Toro Rosso spinning. It's Lee. There's a big collision in the background.
Whoa! What was Hunter doing there? That was a silly move.
Whoa, he's dive bombing. Hunter needs to calm it down. It's lap 1 for crying out loud. People being shafted out wide now. We saw this last night. Gaming things under pressure from Mad G. Mad G is doing his best job to push through, and he is through now as they head out. Why are they lining up to look like they're going to dive bomb everyone?
Who's that?
It's just the whole grid of the dive bombing. Billy getting dropped down behind Luke Beck now on his return, and Manzo not letting Trainman get away at all.
I thought I saw damage on Stam's car, but
there is damage. There should be damage on his nose.
I don't see much, if any, damage.
It was an end plate.
There's no end plate missing.
So it must have been on Friedrich's car then. Just check Friedrich's nose.
No damage on his either.
So it must have come from someone further back then. Billy's in trouble. He's dropping down the pack as he gets passed by Luke Beck. Luke Beck cutting across the line just a little bit. That's fine though. And Billy has to start on the brakes early now as Trey Madley is here in Sochi. And Ferrari, what happened to Stam off a start? He just got nothing. He wasn't a lag start either, he just didn't start.
He's under pressure now from Langfell because of the slipstream, but the slipstream is affecting all the drivers. But here comes Langfell around the outside of the Williams.
He's going to squeeze to the wall.
Gives him the squeeze. Brilliant use of the squeeze there from Stam. You got to love that. That's a good racer. He knows what he was doing then.
He knows, and he's annoyed at the start now as we see drivers all going chaos there. The Renault of Hagen has gone off the road and come back on without coming through the bollards. That could be part of the dangerous rejoin.
Sorry, mate. Sven's at the inside of Manzo because Trainman's still leading.
Hunter's being absolutely ridiculous right now on track. He needs to calm it down. And there's lag from Manzo. He's disconnected on my screen.
Back.
Oh my goodness, mate. What on earth are the drivers seeing from the Italian?
His connection clearly isn't good enough. Slipstream though here.
GA 5 seconds, 3 seconds already, and now, whoa, he's cutting across for Sven. This is really affecting him because he can't see where the car is. He's going to have to go for a dive bomb here and just hope the car isn't there. And he does tip him a little bit, a little nudge there, as Manzo now tries to force him out wide. He can't do it because he's too respectful and the Ferrari is through. And now Manzo's he's going to hit him just a little bit there as the internet tries to stabilise on the Mercedes' car.
Yeah, good racing so far, and I think Stam's going to be the most annoyed out of everyone. I think he knows that.
That start has really put him down.
Do you hear that? He's not quite hard to recover because he went up to 7th, he's up to 4th. And he's on the pace.
To be honest, that's more trying to avoid people who are driving absolutely ridiculously. DRS are now unable to let the chaos begin. And how we made it through 3 laps so we don't have someone out yet.
I don't want to put this out. I don't want to put this out here, but it's good for Trainman because his brother's behind him, so he's not really under too much threat.
Mad G getting dive bombed and shafted off track by Mike Barnes. Mike Barnes has to hand back that position because he forced him off wide, and now Mad G's in a better run.
I always hear my bars.
Mike Barnes under pressure from Mad G. Here's Lee now. He's going to see a front row start if Mike Barnes makes a mistake. Mike Barnes was through though, and the Red Bull doing his best job. G can't get him. He's going to have to drop behind him. He's got to make sure he doesn't turn into Lee. He's done a good job there.
G's got no electrical energy. That's probably why.
Oh yeah, he's been pushing hard. He said he struggles at this track to me last night, and Chris Cam with damage, and out Lee cannot make the corner. Something's wrong with Lee. He's under pressure from Luke Beck. There's no damage on Lee's car, which is a marvel, because normally Lee ends up with a broken front wheel at this point in the race. We're getting close to hitting Luke Beck. Luke Beck, who's powering past. That's a mistake.
Oh.
That shows if you make a mistake in that sector 2, you really lose out time.
My question to you is, how are the Ferrari, what's their plan if Stam does get through? Do they teamwork to box him out?
I think the fact is just race. That's how it should be. Should be race.
That's how it should be, but I didn't ask what it should be. I asked what do you think it will be.
It will be. Hunter has wing damage. It will be whatever they plan to be. I can't predict their strategy. I don't really want to predict their strategy because it
Look
doesn't
at Manzo, he's closing right up.
He is. Pressure now. We see Hunter pitting, and we see lots of drivers now closing in on DRS. Lee now under pressure from Luke Beck.
Luke Beck. Door next one. Here comes Sven on the inside of his teammate. Is it going to be contact?
The Ferraris are racing. They've got 3 wide into turn 1 though. On the back straight, it's Lee now trying to get through on Billy. Billy who did 2 overtakes, but Lee defends. He's having to go wide. He's having to go through the bollocks. No, he doesn't. Unsafe for join from Lee. Naughty boy. And Billy is playing a dangerous game, trying to defend out there. And now you see Luke's going to drop behind him, dip into the slipstream and go for the dive one. Decides not to. Ultimately, Psychomitch battling Dot Special Energy in the foreground. As now we see them all run through to sector 2. Luke is not happy being behind Billy.
No, and I think this turned into a cracking little race. We've got the top 4. And then we've got Langfell and Friedrich with a bit more of a gap to game.
Sector 2, it's Trainman! Trainman's in trouble! He's been forced out, he's got damage!
He's lost
the wing's broken!
And I can't help but feel it's got something to do with Manzo.
I think he's hit the wall. I think he's hit the wall. Because you can do that. You can lose the rear end and hit the wall there. I've just found that my PlayStation is pumping out heat and I'm cold, so that's going to really help. Langfell is going to stay behind the Swedish driver. He's going to get close, and that's really not affecting anyone. He's starting to back up the traffic.
Manzo could regain the race lead here because of just straight DRS.
So, there we see. No one's being kind to Trainman to let him back into the racing lane. He's going to have to pit, and he is going to be in some serious trouble now as Gaming Things passes the Swedish driver.
The Sweden.
Well, we're called Britain, technically. Red Bull, are we going to get a multi-21 situation here? Sector 3, yellow flags, it's Clarkson! Clarkson's in trouble, he's span. He has managed to get the car restarted. Hunter way back now. Hagen on, he's ran into the wall, it's Hagen! He's been helped around by someone, reversing back on track for 19 cars, going to spin back on. He's got a damaged front wing. That's curtains for that strategy.
Yeah, again, just not going well for certain drivers today, is it?
Gaming Things has been passed by his teammates, so was that a multi-21 situation? It looks to be.
No, I don't know what you mean by multi-21, I apologize.
How do you not know? Oh, I'm F1 fan that doesn't know who what a multi-21 situation is.
I know it's got something to do with Sebastian Vettel, but I didn't...
Everyone in the chat, please educate Alex.
I'm not looking at the chat, so...
Well, I'll tell you. No retirements, yes, says Senna. Well, you're not driving, Senna. That's it, boy. Jürgen Belt putting pressure on Chris. Chris putting pressure on no one because he's further enough away from everyone, but the gap right now is 1.2 seconds at the top of the field.
Where's Felix today?
Felix is working, unfortunately.
Oh.
So, no tyres will be going to the moon today. GA is going to be putting pressure on Jürgen Belt soon himself.
They will stamp on Manzo.
So stamp close, but I don't think there'll be any cigar yet. Because Manzo's going to get... Jürgen has been passed by Chris. Manzo's going to get DRS from Sven. And his straight line speed looks to be happy. Billy with another 3-second time penalty to his name. Oh, Stam spinning up on the curbs. Almost losing it.
Oh, the tyres have got to be a bit wary now, haven't they? These softs.
Yeah, I know, Daniel. I mean...
Yeah, I think following as well is not helping.
So Billy now on the attack. Maggie's going to try and defend. Billy's going to try and get back to the racing line, but cannot handle trying to get past the car. The Williams is clearly the more defendable car right now.
Tell you what, credit to Billy. He's definitely pushed for Alpha, hasn't he, in his last few races. He's been at every race, and he's definitely pushed his hardest. It's still got their way, is it?
He has, but he's just done that, so
just...
no damage. But he seems to be okay, but now Luke Beck is sniffing for a little bit of worry on brakes, and Stam with a time penalty. I'm
pretty sure everyone will at least get one, though.
I don't think someone got one last night. I think there was one driver that didn't.
If anyone doesn't, they're immediately driver of the day. My personal... Stab! Oh, get on the curb!
Is he spinning up on that curb still? So the car is struggling on grip. As GA and Chris Cam swap positions, maybe that was a multi-21 situation.
If Stam, do you box an undercut? Or
No, I'll have to choose something from now. Billy now to the outside line, here to the bridge section. He is through, and Maggi's going to try and fight it, but he cannot do it yet. Maggi taking to the curb as he tries to get up and underneath the Alpha.
Oh, yeah,
and the Alpha's going to drop behind him. And whoa, look at Luke Beck going very widely now, saying, hello, I'll come and play with you.
Luke taking his own line there.
Luke taking many lines as we now look at Friedrich.
Stab much better out the corner there. He's done so much better. He seemed very tentative in the corner. He's definitely gone for a heavy straight line speed setup.
Here comes Friedrich on the run for Langfeld with DRS. This should be a very simple move now for the Swedish driver. Passes the Norwegian. DRS open now as the Renault passes the Haas. And he does get through a very simple move, cutting back across the line and saying, right, this is my position now. And now Manzo's under pressure. Is Stam going to flick it around the outside? He is going to flick it around the outside. And he's going to brake hard. And he is through. Is he yet? No, Manzo holds on, goes off track. And Stam is going to hold it into this corner, and it should be a matter of time now. They turn in, and look, they don't turn into one another like in GP4 last night.
Great racing, great racing. You cannot look at that and not say that's great racing. However, that did help Sven. Oh, he's got wide again the corners. He's not liking these corners.
Stam might have some light wing damage that we just can't see.
No way.
Well, yeah, there's still the bits that still fall off that we just can't see.
He's spinning the rears, though.
Well, yeah. If you've got wing damage, he seems to be understeering a lot. So he's got a very understeery setup. He seems to be going very wide.
I think it's just a setup, because the straight line speed is phenomenal.
Well, straight line, if you've got less drag, because there's less bits on the front wing.
I think it's set up. That's just me.
Nonetheless, 1.6 seconds is the gap at the top of the show. Oh, Stam's made a mistake, and Manzo's going to try and capitalise on that. The Italian driver cannot get through, though.
It's all to do with the rear tyres, I think, right? I think it's just heating.
Now we come through. Senna calling me daddy as always. Stam, defensively, he calls me that because I father him and teach him how to do stuff. Oh yes, and the same as you call me mistress. Now under pressure is Stam. Stam moving. I think that's all fine with the little defensive movement.
Here comes my bards on Langfeld.
Lang's in trouble. That's not really...
Danny Ricciardo-esque move there.
Well, you've got to say Alex Albon now, because he's now taking the crown as last of the late breakers in Red Bull. Because Max can't do it, because he ended up hitting someone.
I'm still saying Danny Ricciardo-esque move.
But Dan's not in Red Bull anymore. You can say that when the Renault does it.
He's still king of the... I would say, even if it wasn't a Red Bull doing the braking.
Well, we will see. As we look at Manzo, he's closer and closer to regaining P2, but I think he's going to have to let it off and try and work it out. Doc Special
He just doesn't seem to be able to get into a rhythm. I think that's where he's lacking the most.
Maggi's under pressure now from Luke Beck. Luke Beck lining up a move, as now we see Billy trying to line up a move on gamey things. So the tyres now starting to come to the point now where these tyres will be definitely second hand, definitely time to come into pit lane at some point in the next 2 or 3 laps.
That's what benefits Sven, because Sven hasn't really had to do much racing.
Billy's the outside line. Billy's the outside line. As you see, Mike Barnes passing Langfeld. Billy is through on gaming, and gaming's going to have to give in the position. Luke Becker also through on Maggi, but Maggi's not giving that up. He taps Luke's rear end. But there's no damage yet.
I've got to say, credit to Stam, really, if he is wrestling with big damage, because the fact that he's keeping up with Sven is incredible.
He's not really encroaching on that 2-second gap right now, but mainly because he might be overdriving to try and conserve it himself. Maggi to pit lane, though, for the first stop under green flag conditions here.
Yeah, I think Maggi had to go for the undercut. There was so many.
Oh, Sven with a time penalty. So one Ferrari had wing damage.
There was so many, as I was saying about Maggi, there was so many cars in the battle. It was better worth it for him to get out. He's got wing damage, so that's why.
Luke Beck with a time penalty. And now Mike Bard's looking to get through. Unfortunately, this is a situation where drivers they're in a train and they just cannot encroach on one another. But that's the issue with these F1 cars. They cannot follow. Someone's gone majorly wide in the background, though. That's Billy. Billy going so wide, but he went straight off track. Langfeld with a time penalty as well. Billy's in trouble. I think his tyres are gone.
He actually went to Suzuka. But, right now, Stam's got another penalty. Is he overdriving the car? Does he need to relax a little bit?
I think he needs to pit. I think he's overdriving his tyres, and I think he's cooked them.
An undercut is quite strong here, so...
It didn't work last night.
No?
No. It didn't work last night. There was one lap apart, so it didn't work.
Well, what lap did they box?
No, it doesn't matter on laps, because they were on fresh tyres, that's the thing. They're on fresh tyres because they had a wet qualifying session. So that data's out the window. These guys have actually qualified on these tyres, remember? So Luke Beck pressurising Gamey, who's really struggling in that car.
I think the good thing for Stam is now he can kind of relax about it. He's got Manzo out the DRS.
Friedrich in the pit lane.
Coming in because Friedrich's in. I thought we were out to taking a very strange position. Yeah. Tell you what,
more penalties.
Luke Beck is pushing that racing point. Give him credit.
He is. Remember, he's been out of racing for a while.
Too many Dora marathons.
Well, we don't know that. He might have had. I think he's had a bit of family trouble. So let's move away from the little jokes with him. So Luke trying to put pressure on Gamey, who's trying to do anything with Billy, but he's trying to just hang on at this point. I think both of these guys' tyres are actually knackered. Billy's got more penalties than I've got hairs on my face due to my beard. It's quite a luxurious beard.
I think it's a fake beard.
It's because you can't grow one.
I would shave it anyway, mate, I'll be honest.
No one knows the glory. Lee Nell, who also can't grow a beard, has got a time published now in P16. He's pitted, so that's going to be detriment to him. Maybe on that lap, just a little bit of cold tyres. And now you see Luke
Beck, mate.
closing.
I'd watch out for Luke Beck. He's very hungry. He has not been racing in a while. Seems like he wants to get as high up the grid as possible. And fair on him. The only thing that's affecting him is that Gamey's still got DRS from Billy.
It's not going to work this time, because here comes Luke to the inside. He's going to make the move. He's going to go for the dive bomb. Do it, Luke. Do it. He's lined it up, but he couldn't get close enough.
Execute order 66. Other orders are available. As Sven and Stan boxed on the same lap. Sven and Stan boxed on the same lap.
Oh, a detriment to Stam. That is really something to kill the championship for him. He's just making too many mistakes this time. Mike Bart's the pit lane as well.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, he can still make mistakes, and if he gets knocked off every little bit, just causes the championship to slip away from him. This could be the race where he ultimately goes on a downward slump. Now, Luke, big lag sight from Gamey there, as Luke tries to close in on the British driver in the Red Bull, but he hasn't got the run. He just can't get close enough. And just that protection from Billy, which is really knackering him right now.
This Stam going to have a car in between him, mate. Watch out for Psychovic. This is not working out for Stam.
Stam's going to go down the inside. He's going to race him out of pit lane. He's going to make a mistake because he's going to go wide, but it's okay.
It's got the Mercedes there. That's distracted the Haas. Let's have Jürgen through. Good move there from Jürgen. Good race smarts.
So still looking at the battle for P3 right now. Luke Beck, he's probably going to be coming into the pit lane this time round. His teammates right behind him on new tyres. Well, not new tyres, on different top amount of tyres.
Yeah, especially when he's doing a solid job after his win last week. Let's see, the race is still going to go, but I don't think he'll reach that glory this time round.
We shall see.
We shall see.
This is killing. Right now, this is absolutely killing Luke. He's getting really annoyed by this, you can tell.
Well, no, because unfortunately Gamey's reeling in Billy as well.
Yeah, I think that's because Billy's pace is absolutely gone, and Luke's annoyed, so he's braking later. He's starting to use the car. He knows where he's losing time to Gamey, and that's on the straights right now. And you see he's over-driving because he's trying to carry as much speed through the corners as possible. Thus, he's gone offline. Marino's in.
Because the other two are boxing, so...
Manzo's in. He's going to try and go for the overcut.
Luke's doing the overcut.
Yeah, he will be.
I don't think that's the
Sector 3 is Chris. Try and catch him. Where is he? He's off. Whoa, big accident for Chris. He's got no front wing. And Stam with more penalties. This day goes from bad to worse for the Williams driver.
It's not going well for him, is it?
Every little bit slips away the championship for the Greek driver.
He's no. By the way, if Stam does finish second, we're not saying the championship is anywhere near over. We'd only be a 14-point gap round about. So,
Friedrich passing. Oh, it's 3 wide between the two Hasses and the Renault. He's bullied him though. Has Lang, and there's a big contact there. Nothing, no damage.
And Mike Barnes has come round the outside of the Haas.
Psychovic can say that. Okay, so he hit me and I lost the position. That's not fair. But it's all fair in love and war. There, you tried to go 3 wide. You should have bailed out of it. But you know. Who knows? Hagen on 6-horse slots. He's going for an interesting strategy. I
don't think you say you should have bailed out of it. I think it was just one of them were going to be unlucky there.
Well, 3 cars into that corner does not work. We've seen it before. Formula 2 can't do it, let alone Formula 1. Formula 2 ended in a massive collision. And drivers taking off the track.
One man who's had a quiet race is Trainman.
Well, he did have wing damage. It was not really quiet. We caught it.
Okay, since he had the wing damage, he had a quiet race.
That's the issue. Oh, Chris Can's out. Yeah, that was a warning as well, so hopefully he hasn't done that on purpose. So to 1 and 2. Now under pressure, Lee now battling past Gamey Things, who has no pace in that car. Gamey holds her qualifying as Luke Beck pits. Gamey holds her qualifying and just to qualify and then go backwards in the race.
Not gone his way, is it, for Gamey? Stam, fastest lap. Right, now we need to see him kind of get into a rhythm now, attack.
I think the race win's gone for Stam with the penalties. He's already got a 5 seconds penalty. If he pits again, that'll be served. Yeah, he's already got 6 seconds worth of penalties on that. That's already 11 seconds worth.
I mean, Sven's got to get a few more. That's what he's got to be hoping.
So Lee on a run. Gamey was only really being protected by that DRS. He's got 0 pace, and unfortunately Luke Beck's right behind him again. Luke's to be thinking, for God's sake.
But yeah, Luke's overcut didn't
work.
Oh,
for God's sake.
Luke, it didn't really work for Luke, did it, the overcut?
It didn't. Train man back into P10 now as he passes Psychomich. Psychomich is on 12 lap old tyres.
And Jürgen let his teammate through. Strategies at Mercedes.
Oh, easily done. If Jürgen might know that he's pitting in the last 3 laps and doesn't want to hold his teammate up, that's easily done. And he'll be told by his teammates on fresh tyres.
Manzo's run a good race, you know. He could be on the podium.
He has, but we will see what happens. So Lee now putting pressure on Psychomich. Psychomich, I think, will be fitting soon. He's on 12 lap old medium tyres. Becoming a bit of a movie chicane. Lee doing a suicidal move, almost like Daniel Kvyat, but this time he doesn't run into the side of someone. And Lee will have the pressure.
Luke Beck's will be so annoyed.
He is going to be so annoyed. He's going to just be like, for God's sake, can I get away? Oh, he's been taken out! Luke is done. He's now...
I've got to say that was probably Luke's fault.
Yeah, well, too many cars into one place. He's just trying to get through the traffic. It hasn't happened. Lee's made a mistake now. He's going to be under pressure from Gamey. Gamey's going to try and get through on Lee, but Lee's mistake has not gained him any damage on Lee's car. Is the question.
I was going to say, we could see an overtake for the lead anytime soon. I know it's not technically... Spencer Ridley's in the lead again. There we go. We need a few more laps in the so far. Gp3.
So pressure now. Lee's got a straight line speed from absolute heaven right now. Let's try and get up to Sven. Sven, who's getting closer and closer to Doc Special Energies, will not be it will be a pretty simple move. Jordan knows that his tyres are much older. They're 11 laps, in fact, older than Sven's. But he won't make it easy for him. He'll just make him work for it a little bit.
This is going to help Stam a little bit.
It will be. Oh, that's the wrong one. So now you see Sven looking for an inopportune moment. He knows can't overtake into this corner here, but Jordan's gone wide. Sven with a time penalty there. I don't know what he did wrong there, but Jordan does let him through, and that's not down to anything. He went wide, so that's just down to not trying to over defend the car. If you just went straight in there, he's wrestling that car heavily.
Yes, he is. Shut on speed of the racing point though. I think he'll box now. I don't think he'll want to get involved too heavy. But he can't box. He's got to stay out for just a few more laps here. And I wonder how the strategy will work.
Lang's in trouble. He can't control the car at the straight. He was going at a diagonal angle into the corner, but he's managed to get in fine.
Where do you think Special Energy is going to end up in this race? Because he's doing the one stop. He's just doing the reverse one stop. He's only kind of stuck to it.
Stand fast on the track. But he's got to do well. He's got to stay out of trouble. Manzo, though, getting the fastest lap now from Stam. So he's quicker than Stam right now. And Lee under pressure from Gamey.
Don't count Manzo out.
But Manzo starting on pole position. As now we see Lee and Gamey going at it. Lee, who is definitely quicker on the straights than Gamey. This is not a track that normally suits Lee, though. So what can Carroll do is Friedrich does get past Lang. They're actually battling hard. Let's have a look. Side by side up into the longest corner in Formula 1. Right the way round and still around the outside goes Lang, and Lang passing the Norwegian driver. Lee has just got that little bit more speed than Gamey, and it's really aggravating Gamey in the Red Bull.
Yeah, I think, Gamey's done a lot of aggravation tonight, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he'll be getting some sharp words from the paddock later. You delay the start, and then you're just going backwards in the race. I mean, wouldn't it be better for you just not to have qualified?
So you look at it. Oh, look at Friedrich on wide.
And that's what I'm talking about. If you mess up the middle sector, if you just go offline a little bit, it he's a full-on domino effect as he now closes in on Lang. He's got a straight line speed from heaven right now as the Renault passes Haas.
Stam is catching up to special energy at just the right time.
Wow, it's all down to those wonderful tyres going off now. Stam being very fast.
Dajkovic.
With a time penalty there for the British driver.
Special energy, he's caught special energy at the perfect time. We'll get some slipstream, get the DRS. Beautiful.
So Jordan's letting him through, knowing that he'll be pitting soon. He's going to try and go. I think he can try and go for the 11-lap stint on the soft, so he has to get in on lap 17 if he's going to go for that 11-lap stint.
It depends on how comfortable he feels on these medium compounds, you know. Because he's obviously going to be slower than the guys in the first run, but he might be feeling quite comfortable actually.
Gamey's closing in on Lee. Gamey looking to the inside. Lee, a little bit of a wiggle there as he tries to control the car, tries to work out where he's going. Lee defending the inside of the road, and easily done as Lee knows what he can do, but it's compromised his line. Now Gamey's going to try it around the outside, but Gamey's got no power outside of a slipstream. Mad G back to pit lane. I think that's down to a broken front wing for Gareth. Let's say broken pit lane or broken front wing.
It's a broken pit lane, I'll just that.
Broken front wing. Okay, sorry. Look at the train though between Jürgen and down to Mike Bards. That is a distinctive train.
Train spotters would love it. But here comes Friedrich though. He's going to go to the outside on the Mercedes. He's going to get.
Not going to happen here.
To the inside. Ooh.
Whoa, Jürgen, suicidal move there. Trying to defend too hard. Maybe should let it go. And he's actually really slowed down as he got damaged.
His tyres will be cooked, to be fair.
Side by side, as we watch them. Lang's turn in. Friedrich having to lift it off now. Friedrich's going to think, for God's sake, can this guy just leave me alone?
Look at Mike Bards.
Yeah, Friedrich's missed the apex there. That's really opened up the track. That's naughty. You can't overtake there. Cut the corner and hit him, and that's really punished him. Jürgen Mel into pit lane. Trainman with another penalty, and furthermore, that starts to unravel for that Ferrari.
It does. Mike, though, obviously was nowhere close. He could just waited one little corner.
Yeah,
over the Renault.
He expected Friedrich to go wide at the apex, but Friedrich was on the racing line. There was no trouble there, and he just ended up cutting the corner after hitting the rear end. I think that's just impatience from from Mike Bards, which shows a little bit of immaturity when on the racetrack. But it's okay. He will learn. They all will learn. I have to whip it into them in the last month that I'm here.
That'll be your last lesson to these drivers.
Yeah, the last lesson I'll give them will be the bloody blue flags. Don't just jump off track.
So what, like an Esteban Ocon situation?
No, because that's not how it works. They don't need to jump off track. They need to they just need to stay on the racing line. When the faster car comes, they'll go around you.
Sorry, this train Mike Bards. What? The clearance is up to Friedrich at the wrong time. It's just annoying for them. Red Bull, we got a great fight for 5th position. There.
I think the annoying thing for Gamey is that Lee's got no DRS, no slipstream in front of him, and he's still faster than him.
I think the annoying thing for Stam is that he's actually running on the exact same speed of Sven.
Okay, he's made a little bit of a mistake now, so Gamey can sniff something. He's trying to carry more speed into corners, taking more risks with track limits now as he tries to get past the sister team.
We've got to talk about this battle for 5th. We've got to talk about the battle for 5th because it's about to go down.
So, through the curve, turn 1, more of a kink, and there we go. Into 5th goes Friedrich. Friedrich is going to now be under no pressure from Alex Albon. He hits him!
Alex Albon, from the Red Bull.
We didn't see that. And Lee now actually being passed by the other Red Bull into turn 1. Lee's going to try and get past him again. Lee's got damage. He's got some damage on his nose, I think. No, he hasn't. It's just the way the nose goes. But he's still going to be faster around the outside line. Then Gamey, if he's going to try and hold it, he is through. Look at the move there. Lee's got some pace here. He just cannot do it. As there you see Trainman pressurising Billy. Billy now, this is the Constructors' Championship in one hole.
People getting stuck behind Billy is sort of the theme of this race, isn't it?
He's not a moving chicane. That's the thing. He's not slow. Not by the middle of it. As Doc Special Energy, was he closing in on Manzo? Manzo drove past him. Okay.
Mate, this is such a strange battle. As here comes Langfeld back on Friedrich.
Yay, with a time penalty, but he is through, still ahead of Gamey. Gamey's pressurising him. Lang cannot get through this time. and because Friedrich's going to have that
Tell you
defense
what,
of
Mike
DRS.
Bard is on for 4th position here.
No, Lang's in trouble. Sorry. No, Friedrich's in trouble. Getting shot out wide, and has giving the Renault just a little bit of a squeeze going.
I think that's a bit fair.
Stop special energy
it wasn't a whack, it was a bit of a squeeze. And I think
no, there was no contact whatsoever.
Friedrich gave him almost the exact same squeeze going into turn 2. So, it was fair enough more. That's what I say. I think Gunter will be happy with that one. But here comes Friedrich.
I think we're looking on stream at the battle between Gamey and Lee once more, because we can keep an eye on how close Billy and Trainman are together.
Actually, I don't know. Here comes Lang on the exit.
We'll have a look.
Maybe
I think Friedrich's got some faster line there. And look, he just opens it up just a little bit so Lang can't get through.
Good racing there, but Mike's just run away with it, look.
He has, yeah.
This race, it's not been dominant from Sven because he's actually at the same speed as Sam, so it's mostly just been an equal race. If the start didn't happen,
They just can't close in on anyone, can they? They can't seem to get through. In the corners, one car's quicker. Trainman, another time penalty there, and this is really just destroying him. He's going to think, for God's sake, what's happening? He's getting to the point now he's going to be thinking, right, I'm going to be dropping out the championship fight soon. Now we see Dot Special Energy has fitted, he's in P11 now. Trainman looking to the inside line on Billy. Billy squeezing him, I don't know if there was any contact there. And they do touch that time, no. And Trainman's getting annoyed. Is Billy over defending?
No, I don't think he is. They're racing for position.
You can't over defend the car though.
I don't think he's doing that though here. I think he's on the limit. For sure.
We shall
over
see.
Defending. But then again, we have differing opinions on this sort of stuff, so...
Well, no, over defending. If he's scrubbing the tyres in the corner and he's carrying way too much speed and not being smooth on the throttle, he's over defending. Now Trainman to one side. This is going to be a dominant move there for the Ferrari with slipstream. Ferrari is through.
Lang's got the better of Friedrich.
He's got no ERS left. Lee is going to be okay. Friedrich and Lang's, that battle 372 has been settled this time in favour of the Norwegian Lang.
I think I had a bit of fun there, those two.
So Hunter being passed by Jurgen.
I'm genuinely not joking. These guys, Stam and Sven, have literally busted the same lap time last lap. This is incredibly hilarious.
This is just showing how terrible F1 is right now. The cars, I can't close into one another, and we're on equal cars.
Yep. I don't think it's got anything to do with that though, really, because they're not close enough anyway to, you know.
Oh, Billy's in the wall, big damage on Billy's car, and he's crashed himself out. He's tried to crash himself out, caught it on stream. He had no chance of stopping. You are an absolute idiot. If he claims there's something wrong with that, if he claims there's nothing wrong with that, then I'm actually going to lose my mind. Because
unless he uses the wheel and then was like, my wheel getting detached or whatever.
Don't let it come attached. I know he got the time penalty, but then he got a time penalty and it looked to me like he raged. He's already banned from commentary, from the post-race interviews anyway.
Stam, another penalty. His day continues to unravel.
So we see Billy now. Luke Beck's on the move though, trying to get past Clarkson. The other Alfa Romeo under pressure now. As Dr. Special, he's the fastest man on track, looking for that point now, and Billy has crashed in pit lane. So, was it a crash or was that down to
Don't know, but it was definitely.
Yeah, that was a crash. I think the crash. I think the first crash, yeah, definitely under investigation. That time round though, that pit lane with no front wing is actually quite difficult. So, I'd say they let him off with that crash. But the first crash of deliberately taking his front wing off.
You've got to say now, Ferrari team bosses will be smiling after the results of today.
Matteo Binotto can smile.
But Stam beginning to make inroads, but I think he's just done too much damage with the time penalties. But at least we can get a battle for the race, you know. On-track battle would be better than no battle anyway, so...
My hands are freezing, I don't know about you, but my hands are absolutely freezing. Gaming things for a time penalty now as he tries to get past Lee.
Quite warm, actually.
No, I've got no heating up here. Gaming things trying to charge, looking to the inside line. Sven with a time penalty. Ooh, how's that going to even it out? This could be That's Sven's actually, because all Lee's made a big mistake now as he makes the move.
Game's done a good job here. He's been respectful. Like, I'll give him credit. Yeah, the thing earlier was not his finest hour.
Okay, Lee's in trouble.
In the racing, you've got to give him credit. He's been very respectful to Lee. It's been a good race.
I think, I don't know, Gamey's not really had any pace tonight, so he's sort of just like had to go. Billy leaving the session, well, since one of his cars wrecked. So he's not really had those pace. It seems that the pace is now coming back because his tyres are younger than Lee's. I think Lee's tyres are starting to feel it, and he's definitely got pace now in the closing stages of this race. Lee's going to pressure him a little bit into turn 2, but he decides not to.
Over under.
And look at that.
That's brilliant.
Lee's got to get the power down. He's got no power as he tries to slide the car. Lots of lag from one car. And now he's trying to. Game is going to close in. They spin. And Lee's going to think, right, he turned into me. Game is going to think he turned into me. Yeah, that's a racing incident there. That was a racing. That's the nature of the corner. Well, again, as I say,
some words from Billy. Title down, so give up. What he said.
What?
I think gives a hint to.
What did it? Wait, sorry. Say that one more time.
Billy said title down, so he gave up, which I think is.
So you gave up? Yeah. Okay. You know what he is? He's an absolute fucking idiot.
We apologise for JB's language.
No, it's the same as we had last week on Thursday. Someone who wasn't in a train decided that he crashed himself out to try and cause a safety car, and he did cause a safety car last week. He's been banned for this week. I cannot believe that drivers would just give up like that just because they're not in the championship fight anymore. It's ridiculous. When did this all come about the championship? When was it not about having fun? This is not fun if you're just going to crash yourself out. It's called fun for a reason.
A man who is having fun is Dr. Special Energy. He could get 8th position here, and that'd be a great drive from Special Energy. And
incidentally, then he should not be typing in that chat because that chat is open, is closed for the race. So what he's done is distracting drivers. Clarkson's in the wall now. Clarkson's in the wall as you see Lee trying to go around the outside of Game. It didn't happen now. And hopefully, Dr. Special Energy can drag through Lee. That's what he's thinking, right, if Doc's passes me, I'm going to try and pass him. Lee's got the run here again, looking to the inside line.
Tell you what, mate, we could have a little battle on our hands in the last few laps between the top two. I know, not mathematically, it doesn't really matter.
The inside line, once more, he turns into him! Gamey has turned into Lee, and it's destroyed both their races, because now Dr. Special Energy's hit Lee.
Big damage on Special Energy.
And he's going to think, what happened there? Now, was that Gamey's fault? We don't know, because we saw the outside angle. So from what I saw, it looked like Gamey turned into him, but we will see.
Clarkson's retired as well.
Oh, for God's sake. Was he instructed to retire? I swear, if he was.
No. He crashed out, remember, at the corner.
No. The other one.
Wasn't he?
So both Alfa Romeos out of the race now. Just because the championship's over.
Well, now you can actually call it over. It's kind of done now.
Oh, yeah.
How you look at it. But mate, tell you what, one man who's fighting for a championship, because he doesn't know, he's not watching this stream, is Stan. He'll close in. We'll have a couple of laps to go instead, I think.
Luke Beck under pressure from Maggi. Lee now to pit lane with a 5-second penalty. I think Lee's had enough. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that he's not. He already wasn't happy with Gamey, so now he'll see the result. Okay, so safety car deployed for the last stage of this race. So the safety car has been deployed.
We'll get one lap, won't we?
We'll probably have one lap in the safety car. Lee causing the safety car by retiring. He's not happy, but this could give us a nice end to the race. But
we'll have one lap racing on the safety car. Will we see everyone bolt on tyres? That's the thing.
It should be one lap under the safety car, really. We'll see.
No, I think we'll have one lap racing.
Well, yeah, but they should do 2 laps in the safety car. But it'll be one catch-up lap, then another lap, actually under the safety car.
Well, would you box or would you stay on your tyres?
I'd stay out. So, we're 3 seconds away from the end of the race. I'd stay out.
As they do so. Will we see any of the guys in the bottom half of the top 10 bolt on some softs?
Hunter with a drive-through penalty for driving into it. Stam is in. Manzo with a drive-through penalty as well. Some more people suffering. I wonder if Lee will be instructed to have miss a race next week. Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, Lee has said a statement now, and Hunter with another drive-through penalty for speeding on the safety car. So Lee's statement reads: the game needs to learn how to leave a space alongside him. Simply turns in, ruins mine and Jordan's race with that. So that will be going to the stewards. And Gamey, coupled with refusing to leave the session when instructed to by an admin, may be suffering a higher penalty than just a simple couple
Stam's
of points.
come out in 5th position. Train man's in, he's bolted on some soft tyres. Special Energy's in. But the guys weren't there at Racing Point.
Hunter's retired from the session, so I'd swear on every person's now. Has Hunter retired in pit lane? Or has he crashed out?
Pit lane, because he's 11th and Manji's got to overtake him.
Well, we will see. Yeah, okay, so Hunter has retired in pit lane. This is the noise I'm going to use. Hunter's gone. Reserve driver leaving Storm. There you see, someone is ghosted on the safety car. It looks to be Psychomech, who is ghosting. Safety car in this lap. We will get 2 laps of racing.
Already? That's not worked out for Stan, then, has it, really?
No, Stan has absolutely bottled his chance at the podium. And you know what? You're doing the interview tonight. I'm going to have to deal with some messages, I think.
Okie dokie. We'll catch up. Stam will catch up with some warm tyres as well. Interestingly. I reckon Stam's not out of this, for the podium at least. We don't know how penalties will back there. You laughing at me now?
No, I'm laughing at the rubbish of some people. I'm laughing at the absolute rubbish. So, Psychomich is in serious trouble. He's a lapped car. They're back to green flag racing now as they come through turn 20. Well, I think it's turn 21. Back to green flag racing. Psychomich has to get out the way of everyone now. He is the last runner. He does not pull to the outside. Already, Sven getting the best launch in the world there. Psychomich stays ghosted, trying to hope that everyone goes through him, but it isn't happening here onto the penultimate lap of racing. And Manzo's going straight on. If he's not careful, he has had to go through the barriers. Langfeld is getting through, and they're all driving like it's no tomorrow as Langfeld's trying to defend from Stam. Stam's trying to get through to P4, who's going to dive up the inside there on fresh tyres. Psychomich getting out of the way. Stam is still within the shout of getting on the podium.
Yes, and you've got to give the man credit. He boxed for soft tyre. He's got to do these moves. There's no doubt about it.
He's going to do it. You know what? He's still within the chance of winning this race. He's got to get through. And he's got to catch up to Sven. Look at that, Mike Bard's got a terrible exit on the curves. This is still going to be a race for the end. Oh, he's round! He turned into him! And this is drivers still need to learn how to leave space.
That was Mike Bard's there.
Down with penalty for cutting the corners.
From my view, I saw Mike Bard's just not wanting to give in, but I don't know what you saw. I mean, you might have saw something slightly different to me.
Well, it's the nature of this track. We saw it all the way through last night. Drivers were just turning into one another, and it shows that they have zero respect for racing right now.
Manzo in 2nd position. I don't think he'll stay for very long though, will he, JB? Because that many Williams is on a hunt.
Trainman's trying to get his best result too, of trying to get through with 8th.
Oh, he's got a drive-through penalty.
Hunter's out. Oh yeah, Manzo with a drive-through penalty. Yeah, he's been instructed to serve that by the team. That is the podium away for the Italian driver.
2.6 seconds. I think Sven's got this race lead anyway, unless he does something wrong. Trainman fastest lap. Manzo, he's going to walk away with 0 points today, isn't he? Actually, no, he'll come out ahead of Special Energy.
So Stam, 2.3 seconds is the gap on the final lap of the race here in Sochi.
He gained so much time in that one corner. He's literally wringing the neck out of that car, isn't he?
I'm not talking to you, Billy. Manzo with a time penalty. You can take whatever I say and you can shove it, because I know what I saw.
Stam now, close it. I think he's going to run out of time, JB. However, he's done a very good job, hasn't he, to try and catch this time up.
He has done well, but I don't think he'll be enough. On penalties, he's definitely not going to win this race. He's got too many.
Every gap though helps because Langfell's on these 3 seconds. If Langfell's got rough same amount of penalties, it's going to help him. Stam's going to get within DRS range, and you've got to give credit. That's fastest lap, surely. So that's an extra point. There's no. I'll be shocked if he doesn't get the fastest lap one.
We'll see. Now coming to the final couple of turns now. And Sven is going to look to win this race. He's going to be right close. One more lap, though, and it would have caused it. Stam's definitely not going to win this race now. One more lap, it would have caused him to lose the race, but it is Sven who finishes the race in P1 ahead of, it's going to be Langfell, who in the Friedrich on the podium too, back on the podium.
Stam's 5th!
He's bailed right the way down. He'll be even further if he's not careful, but Trayman with an unserved penalty.
Stam turned out to 6th position.
So, that is the race done. Manzo with 20 seconds added to his time.
That's right, you'll get that 9th position.
Most definitely.
Maggie, you might pick up a point here, but not a great day for Williams racing. 10th position. Luke Beck, 12th. G8, and then Hagen. That will complete your lineup, and I think it's safe to say we just cancelled the interviews today, mate. I'll be honest, I'm not in the mood either. It's not been our finest hour, that's for sure.
What do you think? I've not done anything wrong. Gp3 finishing in P4, well done to him.
Good result. But I think the talk of the tower was Stam pushing the car too much. Too much.
We shall see. Let's push track limits. So now we see what happens.
We tried to risk it for the reward, but we didn't get any reward.
So Ferrari back on top here in SFR as Sven wins one hand on the championship trophy now. You have to say it.
You do, after that kind of performance. Sam's got to start putting in those performances that just give him the win. And Sven's got mistakes, really. Last week's Grand Prix could have been the turning point. I think today will be as well. Anyway, Sven takes the lead. Then Langfeld, then Friedrich, then Gamey, Mike Bard, Stam, Trainman, Jurger, Special Energy, and Maggi. Manzo had 2 drives to balance, so I think it's a bit harsh. He finished 11th. GA 12th. Luke Beck 13th. Hagen 14th. Sajkovic 15th. And then Hunter, Lino, Clarkson, Billy, Chris are your DNS.
Nonetheless, though, this has been a shameful display for some drivers tonight, and clearly a disrespect for multiple rules in SFR. Clearly going to be ignored by drivers. So there will not be any interviews tonight, purely because I need to go and have a word now with the admins and really have to straighten this out, because this cannot continue. If the rules are there to be ignored, then what's the point in racing? If that's how it's going to be, then, you know. I mean, one driver dictating that he should be doing qualifying, but when he was instructed to leave, then one driver deciding to crash himself out, saying his controller died when it didn't, because the AI would have taken control. So, don't talk rubbish to the stewards or to me about this at all. We will see you tomorrow for GP2, everybody. We can only apologise for the mess we've seen today. It was a fantastic race from all of those who respect the rules. So do make sure that you respect the rules when you come to SFR. We are not some joke. The rules are there for a reason. Well done to Sven for winning this race. Well done to Friedrich and Langfeld for joining him on the podium as well. We'll see you tomorrow for GP2. Hopefully their race is a little bit cleaner. On Thursday, I will be returning to commentary alongside Felix for the final time before he is joined by another driver in... but he's really joined by Senna on commentary. We'll see you next time in SFR. Have a very good night. We'll see you. Ta-ra.